Hi, I'm Trey. I'm 45 years old, black male in America. I've lived in most of the states in the US, and I just want to share what happened for me in a Black Lives Matters framework. And when I was younger, as a high school student, I think I was a senior maybe. I was driving, I was in Union City, New Jersey, living in Guttenberg. Loved going to high school at North Bergen High School. And I was hanging out with friends. I was the only one with a driver's license, and so we drove to a party. I think it was like 9 or 10 o'clock. Never found the party. We were just driving around, walking around. Can't remember. I think we were on, I don't know. I know we were in Union City. I want to say we were like 42nd Street or whatever. If you're from the area, you'd understand. All the streets have numbers. But we were up there by Bergen Line, and police just asked me to stop. I was walking towards my car. They proceeded to yell at me. I was surprised and shocked. I have a lot of anxiety, so I blanked, and I wasn't understanding. And I remember them yelling and just saying, "Hey, put your hands on your head, put your hands on your head." I'm a kid that didn't do anything wrong. I don't have a record. I'm not violent. I'm not a single father. I've remarried, but I'm a father of a daughter that's an adult. I mean, I am not a negative person. But that experience, they were just yelling, yelling, and I'm like 16, 17. And I just remember not knowing what was happening. And I wasn't really prepared for police to be like that. I really assumed that police were doing good, trying to do the best they could. And it was scary. It was scary. They had guns on us. They let my friends go. It was just me because of the car. The car actually was registered to my mom. It was my car, but I was too young to just straight out own it. She wasn't going to let me own it. So it was just on the title. But the title, insurance, everything was in the car. They didn't even let me get there. They just saw me pull the keys out of my pocket, which thank God they didn't shoot me then. I was too young to realize that was a bad move. But once they saw my ID, saw my last name is different than my mother's, they took me in, they held me, wouldn't listen to anything. My friends were trying to help. Luckily, none of them got in trouble, like physically hurt. But it stuck with me. They ended up keeping me in their office, and then my parents had to come down and pick me up. And it was for probably other people, and I know for sure because I've talked to other people, it would have been fine. They would just slap on the wrist. But for me, they kept me in a detention, and it was like, to teach you. I didn't do anything wrong. I wasn't even driving the car at the moment they pulled me over. It was parked safely. They didn't pull me over, that they like arrested me. Traumatic. That was just the most memorable earliest experience with the police that I had. And I made sure I just don't call them unless I need to. And that was always a mantra. And I don't think you ever really need to, because if it's that bad, just run away, or it could just be worse by calling them. So I just don't do it. And that's something that is said in black families, is just don't call the police, because you could be, killing one of the people, especially if they're black. So I just want to share this story. It's not the best or whatever story, but it's just one that has always sat with me. And it really resonates with this movement. And it's things that I've carried and just keep to myself, because I didn't think it would make a difference to say it again. I'm 45. I've seen things happen and not change enough that people aren't getting killed, right? And it's not to say people aren't trying. I know people are trying, but I don't feel it in my experience every day, just to feel comfortable enough, like other people in America feel comfortable enough. So I just want to add this as another message amongst all the messages, because I was impacted when my work, Realogy, thank you so much, had a town hall, and they pulled a bunch of people of color who had experiences. We all have experiences. We're people of color in America. There's no way you can't have an experience. But we don't always talk about them with strangers, especially strangers who aren't black. And to hear them on a Zoom call, each talking about their story, just impacted me so much to say, this is different. Something about this, it's hard to keep the tears back, but something about this is very different. So I just ask every person of color, just maybe share your experience. So somebody like me who thought it's not worth trying, is going to go try. I mean, I have a daughter, and all I can do is just work hard and do the best I can for my small group to try and make it through this, right? So I appreciate all those voices, and I want more voices to share. And for every example of how things are good, I'm sure we can show them 2 examples of how they're overlooking us, right? And I say they on purpose. Thanks. This is Trey, just another American citizen.